Hello everyone, my name is Kiva and I teach people how to achieve the luxe look for less. In today's video, we're talking all about Pottery Barn. Yes, Pottery Barn. Many of you think it's only for the farmhouse lover or the traditional lover, but you are wrong. They have tons of contemporary hidden gems and I'm going to tell you all about them today. Before we get into today's video though, please don't forget to subscribe, like this video, and check me out on Instagram, but let's get into it. Now, I love Pottery Barn. I mean, I love all stores, but I really do love Pottery Barn. I may have had a late night Pottery Barn shop the other day that ended up with this new lamp, a comforter, and 10 other things, but that's besides the point. Many people think that Pottery Barn is only for transitional, farmhouse, rustic interior design, but they have tons of things for every single design style, and they're not priced badly either. But let's just jump right in. My absolute favorite product from Pottery Barn is the Joshua vase. You hear me go on and on about this, and this vase is fantastic. You can see it right there behind me. That is the medium size. They have a small, a medium, and large. In terms of price, I believe they range from $49 to $89. Whatever, it doesn't matter how much they cost because they are fantastic. They are durable, they are black, they are rustic, they have some really intricate detailing. They work for every design style because every design style needs a little touch of black to add some edge, to add some harshness, because we need contrast in our spaces. I absolutely adore this pot. It's huge in diameter so you can fit a bunch of stuff in it. I even use it to hide my echo in it with some faux branches. So it keeps my kitchen actually looking really nice and clean, even though I have practical items hidden in that space. The next item that I absolutely adore from Pottery Barn is this mango beaded garland. So beaded garland is so popular because you can use it for so many things. You can use it in your pedestal bowl, you can use it hanging out of a plate, you can use it on your coffee table books, you can use it on your bookshelves, you can use it just about everywhere. Beaded garland is amazing, and this one comes in both black and white, and it is $99. And you're saying, Kiva, I'm going to click off this video. This is not affordable. This is not the luxe look for less. Fair, but let me show you something. This is half of the beaded garland. So I've cut mine in like 4 parts because it was so long and it was too big for me to do anything with. So this is about half of it. And look at how massive this garland is. You can put, this garland is so long, you could probably use it to like dress your Christmas tree or something like that. It's massive. So for the price, you're getting something that's super durable. If you were gonna DIY this would probably cost $150. If not more than that. So this is fantastic. It comes in black and white, and you can see here there's a lot of differences in the color. So some of it is a little bit more brown, a lot of it's a little bit more white. It adds a really nice rustic edge to any space. And again, it all fell on the floor, but it adds a really nice rustic edge to any space, and we want our spaces to be versatile. We don't want them to be too harsh or, you know, too soft, right? We want some contrast, and I think this is a great way to do so, especially in contemporary, modern, Scandinavian, and Japandi spaces. This is a fantastic addition, especially if you want to do some very simple styling. I just cut mine down to size, and I just have several different iterations of this Pottery Barn garland. Now, you guys all know that I love IKEA picture frames, but the one downside, or the two downsides of IKEA picture frames is one, I've got three. One, they're always out of stock. Two, not everyone has an IKEA nearby. And three, they don't actually have a glass front. So the fronts of those things are actually plexiglass. So sometimes you want real glass. You don't want something that's plastic. Let's not even call it plexiglass. It's plastic. So sometimes you want glass. And Pottery Barn has these beautiful frames that do have glass in them. And what I absolutely adore about them is they have these square frames. Square frames are super duper popular now. They've been made popular in large in part due to restoration hardware, because if you have this huge oversized mat and this really small place for the pictures, so it just helps everything look really nice and crisp and clean and uniform. So these ones from Pottery Barn are amazing. I put them in client homes all of the time. They start at around $69 and go upwards from there, but they are worth the investment. They have great hooks for hanging. Of course, just use that toothpaste trick, and they're super durable. When you use glass as opposed to like the plastic, you just don't get as much glare, so they're much better for photographing or whatever it is you're doing. So I absolutely adore them, and I think that they're worth the investment. Pottery Barn isn't just good for decorative accents. So their decorative accents are fantastic. Their lighting is fantastic. Now, don't ever buy a coffee table book from there though, because they're very overpriced. But Pottery Barn also has really versatile furniture. Let's talk first about the Big Sur sofa. So this is a sofa that I put in cozy homes all the time. I put these in homes that are contemporary and they want, you know, something a little bit more soft, something a little bit more comfortable for actual lounging. I love this sofa. It is very nice in contemporary in that it has the big track arms. It looks kind of like a luxurious big comfy couch, and we love that for us. It's super comfortable to sit on, and it comes with a ton of pillows, and it's very customizable, whether or not you want 3 cushions, you want a bench seat, you want separated seats, whatever you want you can get with this, and you can get performance fabric or any fabric you want. So Pottery Barn items are super customizable, which is something that I like as well. But this is actually fairly affordable compared to some other stores, and you get the contemporary look without that really harsh feel. It just is really nice and fluffy to sit on. So if you're looking for a sofa for your family, this is one that I would definitely recommend. And something that I love about Pottery Barn is that they actually tend to have a lot more things on display than other stores, and you can just go into your local Pottery Barn and probably sit on the sofa and decide if it is the sofa for you. The Big Sur is a square-armed sofa, and it comes in 3 different sizes. And not only is it versatile in size, but it actually is fairly affordable to start. It starts at $18.99, which is a very decent price for the size of the sofa, especially in terms of size having to do with length, width, and depth. Now, swivel chairs are so popular because you can use them in multiple rooms, because you can use them in your living room and you can swivel around and be in the kitchen, right? They're super versatile because it prohibits you from having to add too much seating in any one room. You can use them in 2 rooms in once, especially if you have an open concept. So I love this BALDWIN upholstered swivel chair. This chair is $5.99. If you're getting a performance fabric, it's $6.99. And in terms of price, it's actually equal to the ones you'd find on Wayfair. So if you can get better quality for the same price, I'd definitely say do that. And this sofa is super customizable. It comes in so many different colors. And not to say that this one's better than the one from Wayfair. I love the one from Wayfair. I've sat in it. My clients have it. It's amazing. But it also does go out of stock a lot. So you can also hop over to Pottery Barn and get this one. You can get linen. You can get so many different fabrics. You can even get velvet if you want to. So again, Pottery Barn is super customizable. So even if what you're seeing in the store doesn't resonate with you and your design style, that doesn't mean that you can't alter it in a way so that it does. Let's next talk about the leather director's chair from Pottery Barn. In terms of price, it ranges from $6.99 to $8.99. This chair is really great because it is still contemporary. It has those really clean lines. It has the wood and the leather, so 2 different materials going on there, which is really nice. It can add some interest to your space without you having to have several different items, introducing those different textures. And my favorite part about it is in contemporary and modern spaces, you have a lot of heavy furniture, which means everything's sitting on the floor and air and light can't pass through the bottom, but it can with this. So it kind of opens up a space a little bit more and makes it slightly more inviting, even if you're dealing with really, really dark color palettes. And I'm just gonna say it, Pottery Barn has coffee table dupes of the Restoration Hardware one. So everyone loves Restoration Hardware coffee tables, no matter what your design style is. I feel like people love them, but they're super expensive. So let's talk about the FOLSOM coffee table. It is $6.99 and it comes in 2 colors. I believe it comes in just a pine and a charcoal. So there's a lighter color if you have a transitional space or a contemporary space that is still bright and airy, because that's a thing that people love to do. And if you have a dark space, you have the charcoal one. It has a clean lines. It actually has a nice beveled edge, and it's 2-tiered. So you have space on top for your decor and stuff like that, and then you can just throw some baskets underneath for some storage, or if that's something that you need. Something else that I also like about this, again, light is able to pass through the bottom of it, so it isn't as heavy, even though it's a darker color. Again, we want all of our furniture to have really interesting shapes and a ton of detail, and I think that the Pottery Barn furniture and home decor pieces are all really interesting. There's details that will make you do a double take, and that's what we want. And for the price, a lot of these prices, as you're seeing, they're very similar to those things you'd find in Home Goods sometimes. On sale at Restoration, on Wayfair, at all of the stores you're shopping at anyway. You just need to know what to look for. If you have a sectional in your home, that means you need a square or round coffee table, because when you have 2 rectangles right next to each other, it's just really hard to maneuver. So that's where this modern square coffee table comes into play. It is $999, and it's a square 2-tiered coffee table. It has all of that nice detailing of the wood. It looks like it's genuine wood. I would have to check to see if it's veneer, but it has all of that texture, which is really nice. It's not one of those square coffee tables where it's mostly just metal and they put like the wood etching in it. You can actually see and feel the detail, which is really nice. And again, you have that opportunity for storage and the light can still pass through. This is just like a basic staple. You want a coffee table that's going to hold up for the test of time. It has some detail, but it's also simple and you can do what you need to do. It's 42 inches square, so that's huge. Most coffee tables that are square around, there are 2 feet 8 inches or 3 feet or something like that, and it doesn't occupy as much space, especially when you have larger homes. So that's why we're shopping at places like Pottery Barn and Crate & Barrel. Sure, it's a little bit more expensive, but they actually sell furniture that is scaled to the size of our homes. So of course, price goes up as things get larger, but if you're getting really high quality for a price that is equal to what you would pay at another store if they did offer what you're looking for, that's a phenomenal thing to do. Next, we have these ARTISAN earthenware painted vases. There's nothing for me to say here besides they are giving me everything they're supposed to give. They have the detail, they do look rustic. Some of them have the handles on them so that you can pick them up and carry them around. They just add a really nice detail, and you can fill them with florals. Pottery Barn has amazing, amazing faux florals, so you can put them in there and use them on a coffee table, on your island, just to create a really beautiful tablescape with very minimal effort. Again, the Pottery Barn vessels have such intricate detailing that they can really stand on their own, which is fantastic because you don't have to spend as much money and time really curating a setting. So I love this ORION handcrafted pedestal bowl. It ranges from $50 upwards. They have different sizes, they have different heights, and they have different colors. What I particularly love about this ORION pedestal bowl is one of the bowls is actually really low profile. Sometimes with pedestal bowls, you'll find that they have a really, really tall pedestal, and then they'll have the bowl on top, and I'm just kind of like, why is this so tall? It's like really actually messing up my sight line. But theirs is actually really low profile, so you can put things in it and have it spill over without it taking up too much vertical space, because you want to be able to see through your space. You don't want to have a styling where you're like, I can't see anything. What is actually going on behind that base? So I absolutely love that. They're a good size. And again, you can go pick this up in store. You don't actually have to order it like you find with CB2 and places like that. And that drives me nuts because I want it and I want it now. So you can just walk into your local Pottery Barn and get it. Olive trees are in. Olive trees are going to stay in. Again, for my faux floral haters, skip this one, skip out of this one. But this is the olive tree from Pottery Barn. It's $229 for 60 inches. So it's 5 feet tall, which is fairly decent. Get this one, put it in a big pot with some trash underneath to elevate it, but it looks very real. In terms of all of the faux olive trees, this one is definitely up there. I'd say the Crate and Barrel one comes first, and then this one, and then the Nearly Natural one, and the Target one is like way down at the end of the list. But this one is super great. I've had it. If it had been taller, it's something I would have kept. It's really nice to flock. It's very full, and it doesn't shed. So that's what I absolutely love. So we didn't buy a real tree, so why would it be shedding, right? But they still shed when they're cheap and they're plastic, but this one doesn't shed. It looks very real, or as real as it's gonna get, and it's definitely worth the $229 price tag. So sometimes in your bedroom, you kind of want somewhere to sit, but you don't have space to add a chair, but you do have space to add an end of bed ottoman. That's where the BODHI bench comes in. So I absolutely love the BODHI bench. It comes in 2 colors. You have like a pewter or a more natural color, and then you also have a gold, or I guess it's a bronze and a gold. So the gold is a little off-putting to me. I think it's way too shiny. I'm like, whoa, that's yellow. But I love the pewter. It is a really nice ivory cushion with the metal arms that have a ton of texture. So again, we love adding texture, and it's great to do it without having to layer things. So it comes with the texture, and it's only one piece. In terms of price, they have one that's $4.99 and $6.99. So they have a smaller size and a larger size. So you can put one big one at the end of the bed, or you can do 2 small ones. You could also use 2 of them in your living room or anything like that. But they are super durable and well made. Not all ottomans are created equal. You've seen them online where they have flimsy legs, and you're like, if I look at them too hard, they're going to fall apart. Not with this bench. And I love putting these in really contemporary spaces, again, to add something that is a little bit less harsh, because you're introducing the ivory as opposed to a really stark white, and it's just really nice and inviting. Plus, they are actually really comfortable to sit on, and comfort's important when you're buying an ottoman, because if you can't sit on it, then it's just purely decorative, and so then why are you spending money on it in the first place, especially since ottomans are so expensive these days. Finding a nice modern nightstand is so difficult. I find them on Wayfair and share them with you all the time, but they go out of stock in like a second. A few of you buy them and they're gone. So where do we find good nightstands? We find them at Pottery Barn. So I love this CAYMAN nightstand. It's nice and low profile. It reminds me of the reclaimed Russian oak ones from Restoration Hardware. Without the $2,000 price tag, these ones are $3.99. They're 27 inches wide. They have a fair height. They're not too tall, they're not too short, and they're great for modern spaces. So if you don't want a full chest of drawers sort of situation for a nightstand, or you don't want something that looks very textbook, get something like this. There is some open space for styling, but again, there's also a drawer for storage, so we kind of get the best of both worlds. Now, if you do want nightstands to really contrast your contemporary space, I say go for these BLATCHFORD nightstands. Now, they are pricey. They're $12.99, but they're massive. So these are pretty much a chest of drawers. So you can use this for some of your clothing. People forget that all the time. You can use your nightstands for clothing. They don't have to be full of miscellaneous stuff. So on the top, you can do the styling and all of that. On the inside, this can be where you put your socks or your underpants and stuff like that. It doesn't all have to fit into your closet or that one chest of drawers that you put under your TV or a piece of art. So use your nightstands for that as well. This one comes in two different colors, a black and a white. I love the black. These actually look just like the ones that McGee & Co. makes, but they're slightly more affordable. The McGee & Co. ones, I believe, are $18.99 or something more than that, and these ones are $12.99. And I think they're worth the price if you're going to use them for storage as well. Pottery Barn also has fantastic bar and counter stools. I love the Hardy stool. Again, looks like RH without the RH price tag, without the RH delivery. They start at $2.99 and they go upwards to $4.99. They have a really nice black frame with a nice upholstered cushion. So sometimes you want that metal accent without the entire thing being metal, because metal is really uncomfortable on your tush. I absolutely hate that. So you get the best of both worlds, and plus it adds some brightness to a kitchen, because a lot of us have dark kitchens, or it adds some darkness to the kitchen. So say you have black hardware and that's the only black you have in there, you can repeat that color via the bar stools and it really looks super refined. I also want to tell you about two more sofas from Pottery Barn, because they're dupes of the ones from Restoration Hardware and more sophisticated stores. So I go back to Restoration because Restoration become really popular and their things are unreasonably priced, and I know that. But a lot of people want to look for less. That's how a lot of you find me, so that's why I'm sharing that with you. But these sofas work regardless of what you're inspired by. So they have this York slope arm sofa. This is just like the Parisian slope arm sofa from Restoration. These are really affordable. They're also super comfortable, and slope arms are really great for having a traditional edge to your otherwise modern furniture, because the sofas are really squared off. They look really contemporary, but the slope arm adds something a little bit more traditional, because you see these in Parisian homes, in traditional homes, in homes that have a ton of oriental rugs and stuff like that. So this is a really nice ode to that, while still getting that really contemporary look via the cushions and via everything else you put in the home. Again, you can put something traditional next to something contemporary to make the space transitional, and transitional is super duper in, and that's what a lot of you like to do in your homes. The next one is the CARMEL square arm sofa. It looks like the Big Sur sofa. It just has fewer cushions on it. It looks just like the RH and Maxwell sofa, and now it comes slip covered if you'd like it to, so you can actually just take the cushions off, the covers off, throw them in the washer and clean them. So if you have kids, this is a really great option. It starts at $18.99, and again, these are big sofas, so for the price, they're actually really, really great. You have to think about, even on Wayfair, even on those cheaper websites, the really good sofas, the ones that are durable, the ones that get good reviews, really also start at $15.99, $16.99. So it's just all about whether or not you're getting quality in terms of the materials, and I really do stand behind Pottery Barn and their materials. And all of these sofas are super basic, so it's all about how you style them as well. So that's something that happens all the time. People are like, well, Pottery Barn is only farmhouse. Pottery Barn is only rustic. Pottery Barn is whatever you make it. It's about how you style the things, not the things in themselves. So I'm telling you, go into your local Pottery Barn. I love all of these items, and they're going to look great in your contemporary home, because they have the shapes, they have the detail that you need to craft a really elevated space. Are you going to pick up any of these things from Pottery Barn? Let's chat about it down in the comments. I have a huge Pottery Barn order coming in, so be sure to follow me on Instagram to watch that unboxing. If you like today's video, please don't forget to subscribe, like this video, and check me out on Instagram. And until next time, have a beautiful day.